Hello and welcome viewers. A hearty welcome to our online channel rscpcalicut.virtual. Today we are doing a precursor to the World Environment Day that actually is slated to be on 5th June every year. It is a fact that we chose this date because otherwise we could not have the opportunity to listen to the very special guest we have today. It would be next to impossible to demand time on the World Environment Day from one of the most active and remarkable environmentalists and green activists of our country. We are grateful that today we have with us Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Dr. Anil Prakash Joshi, the founder of the Himalayan Environmental Studies and Conservation Organization, or HESCO. There is a reason that we are so keen to listen from him. Come every World Environment Day on June 5, and we sort of recall the earth and environment on that day itself. We say very good words, paint pretty pictures, do some quiz, and think perhaps it is engagement enough with the quote unquote good and nice idea called environment. But there it ends. It is very ritualistic quite often. But here we have this veteran environmentalist who sternly reminds us that it is not sufficient to think and act superficially. Dr. Joshi, the botanist, left his safe and stable job of university teacher and researcher and actually engaged himself with the cause and acted towards reviving the ailing ecology of Himalayan states. He raised his voice to make us realize that ecology is economy. He showed us that Himalayan states meet the water requirement of half of the population of the country. Still, the state capital of Himachal Pradesh, Shimla, suffers from acute water shortage in summers. We do not recognize that if the insects are indiscriminately killed, the whole fruit industry may vanish as there will be no pollinating agent. He reminded us that it is not just our conscience that impels us to care for the earth and ecology, but it is our life that should compel us to understand and preserve its delicate systems and subsystems. We heartily welcome Dr. Joshi for his deliberation, local need, meet locally, ecology inclusive economy. Sir, please take up from here. This stage is all yours.
Thank you very much. I'm for this invite. I'm really grateful. And well, this is a high time. Really, we have to be very serious about the ecosystem growth. We have enjoyed more of the economy of the ecosystem. We do not. We're very serious about the nature, which is the more important part of the ecosystem, its behaviors, intricacies, and so many other things which makes an ecosystem. I think since I'll be speaking from the heart, and my own language matters a lot to me when I speak on issues like this. And moreover, I feel that you feel more you are in speaking to your own people. So I know since the Kerala is a place where Hindi is not spoken the way it is in the North India, but I will mix it up so that everybody who's hearing can understand the issues. Look, we had been suffering with economic disparity globally. I mean, the group of people who are living in the rural part of the world were not economically strong as par with the people who are enjoying urban lives. The industrial growth that we have in the country and the world also. You see, ever since the agriculture was put on a back foot and industrialization became more important, so this disparity enlarged. मेरा कहने का तात्पर्य ये है कि इकोनॉमिक डिस्पैरिटी वाज ऑलवेज देयर, और शायद पहले से भी थी, लेकिन अभी जो दूसरा बड़ा इश्यू खड़ा हो गया, देयर इज एन इकोलॉजिकल डिस्पैरिटी आल्सो. Economic disparity, if you can think of, one of the Oxfam report says 2153 people of the world enjoy wealth which is equal to the 6.4 billion people of the world. Now look at 2153, 2153 people only. उनके पास इतनी वेल्थ है जो कि 6.4 बिलियन लोगों के पास है. And you see, look at our own country also. We have 1% people in the country, the rich people have wealth 40% of the total country's wealth. Now, this is one thing which we had been taking in notice, and there was not a much debate, discussion, and not was a priority of our development, part of the development plan. Latest one report that came by the World Economic Forum, it says that globally 153 industrial sectors which have 50% GDP contribution, it rests on natural resources. 37% of them are partly dependent on natural resources, but 15% are exclusively depending upon the natural resources. And that makes 50% GDP of the world. And that is equivalent to 44 lakh crores of dollars. And look at who controls this dollar. Hardly 20 countries across the globe are richest in the world. Rest of the others, we also the part, one of them. We are struggling economy. Now, if we look into the rural-urban ratio, you will find that it is very large in India. It is not less than 1 to 20. And at the same time, maybe that in America, Japan, and other Scandinavian countries, it may be 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, something of this kind. But by and large, we can say that the so-called GDP, if you look into very honestly and try to analyze the one, you will find that a common farmer globally do not contribute much on the GDP. What contribute to GDP is industries. पर जितनी ज्यादा इंडस्ट्री लग जाएंगी, जितना ज्यादा ग्रोथ इंडस्ट्रीज की होगी, वही किसी भी देश की इकोनॉमी का बैकबोन है. ये हमने मान लिया और पिछले 100-200 सालों से हमने सब कुछ जीडीपी को बना लिया. आप देखिए, वेयर एवरीबडी कंट्रीब्यूटेड मोर वाज फार्मिंग, एग्रीकल्चर. आज हालत ये है कि एग्रीकल्चर की जीडीपी तो दुनिया में गायब होनी शुरू हो गई. अब आप अमेरिका को देखिए, अमेरिका की पूरी इकोनॉमी में तो जीडीपी है वो 1% एग्रीकल्चर का है. एग्रीकल्चर 1% का मतलब है फार्मर्स, प्रोसेसर, इनका कंट्रीब्यूशन 1% से ज्यादा जीडीपी नहीं है. और वहां की अगर जीडीपी देखें तो ज्यादा किस चीज से होगी? इंडस्ट्री से होगी, और जो वो तमाम तरह के युद्ध के सामान तैयार करते हैं, वॉर मटेरियल, उनकी जीडीपी का बड़ा हिस्सा है. ऐसे ही देखिए यूके में भी 1% एग्रीकल्चर कंट्रीब्यूट करता है पूरी जीडीपी में. इंडिया में ये करीब फ्लक्चुएट होता रहता है, 10 से 16% के आसपास चलता रहता है. लेकिन सच ये है कि एग्रीकल्चर जो बड़ा हिस्सा होता था उसका कंट्रीब्यूशन जीडीपी में कम हो गया. अब अपने ही देश में देखिए, इस समय इंडस्ट्री कंट्रीब्यूशन 31% है. चाइना में 40% से ऊपर जीडीपी में इंडस्ट्रीज कंट्रीब्यूट करती हैं, और जो जीडीपी में कंट्रीब्यूट कर रही हैं उनकी इकोनॉमी बड़ा स्ट्रांगली, बड़ी वाइब्रेंट हो जाती है। और पिछले 3 डेकेड्स में जो चाइना ने किया है वो सबके सामने है। सवाल ये पैदा होता है कि जो जीडीपी और जीडीपी, तो अब देखिए ना, इस कोरोना काल में भी जहां हम जान बचाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, जहां हम सब कुछ कर रहे हैं, लेकिन पूरी बहस, पूरी बातचीत सारे देश की अखबार भरे पड़े, जीडीपी चली गई, जीडीपी डाउन हो गई, अमेरिका के हालात खराब हो गए, इकोनॉमी अमेरिका इंग्लैंड की भी चली गई, जर्मनी वरीड है, रूस के भी बहुत अच्छी हालत नहीं है। मतलब इस समय में भी हम जीडीपी और जीडीपी ही कर रहे हैं। So we are not thinking other than that. Even today when things are so worse, we are talking of GDP. I know that some way or other GDP is important, but it is not everything. That's one thing which we also keep in mind. If we look into the GDP, what is the GDP meaning by? It means more industries. It does not much speak of other important issues. What the example is कि क्या ये जीडीपी ये बताती है कि हवा के हालात क्या है, पानी के हालात क्या है, क्या ये बताती है कि जो फॉरेस्ट कवर है उसकी क्वालिटी और उसका एरिया कहां है, कितना नीचे गया, कितना ऊपर गया? डज दिस जीडीपी टॉक अबाउट दैट? नेवर, बात नहीं होती। क्योंकि आप देखिए ना, कितनी अजीब सी बात है कि हम जब हमारे बीच में से नदियां गायब हो रही थी, हमारे बीच में से जब मिट्टी खराब हो रही थी, केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर यूज कर रहे थे, जब हमारे बीच में से पॉल्यूशन एयर में इतना ज्यादा आ रहा था, तो हमने वी यूज साइंस, उनके ऑल्टरनेटिव के ऊपर हमने साइंस में काम किया। वी डिड नॉट वर्क to improve the status of air, water, soil that seriously, as serious we became to develop knowledge and technology towards solving the problem of crisis. पानी की बोतल ले आए व्यापार करने के लिए, the water bottle business, purifier business, and now there are air purifier also. Soil खत्म हुई तो chemical fertilizer वाला business आ गया। और इस तरह से हमने जो काम किया टेक्नोलॉजी, नॉलेज एंड साइंस ने टुवर्ड्स ए सॉल्यूशन व्हिच वर अगेन कमर्शियल। आपकी जीडीपी बढ़ गई उसमें, आपने जब केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर की कंपनियां खड़ी की, आपने जब पानी के बोतल का व्यापार शुरू हुआ, वाटर बॉटल बिजनेस, प्यूरिफायर बिजनेस, एयर प्यूरिफायर, इट हेल्प योर जीडीपी टू ग्रो। बट एट द सेम टाइम जब नदियां सूख रही थी, quality of air was stooping down, soil was no more rich, it was not reflected in the GDP, and therefore because we did not realize that fact, और बीमार भी हम पड़े जब हवा मिट्टी पानी के अच्छा ना होने पे, तो हमको बार बार अस्पताल जाना पड़ा और दवाई खानी पड़ी, लेकिन वो जीडीपी में आ गया होगा कि हमने कितनी दवाई खाई, कितने अस्पतालों में गए, number of hospitals came in the country, what became the part of GDP. We really need one very important issue and really serious about it. That, well, our Honorable Prime Minister has been saying Jaan and Jahan. So I would like to say here, Jahan is GDP. What you do in GDP, what you produce in GDP, the major contribution in the GDP is from the industry. What industry produce, what we consume, industry produce that only. And what we have been consuming, gadgets, cars, variety of the items which brings comfort to you, it is the kind of a GDP, the Jahan hai. Really, we need a time, it's a high time, it is a high time to seriously think upon that should we not have one parallel growth measure, एक और ग्रोथ मेजर होना चाहिए, जो मेजर हमें ये बताए कि कितना जंगल बढ़ा है, क्वालिटी एंड क्वांटिटी, कितना पानी ठीक किया, क्वालिटी एंड क्वांटिटी, कितना हमने मिट्टी को ऑर्गेनिक किया, क्वालिटी क्वांटिटी, और कितनी हमने प्राण वायु ऑक्सीजन या एयर क्वालिटी इंप्रूव की. लेट अस कलेक्टिवली डिफाइन एज ए ग्रॉस एनवायरमेंट प्रॉब्लम. क्योंकि दिस इज जान, ये जान है इसमें, यू हैव प्राण। तो जीडीपी जहान एंड जीईपी जान, क्योंकि अगर आपको जान बचानी है तो हवा मिट्टी पानी चाहिए। 1 मिनट की कल्पना कर लीजिए, अगर आपके कमरे में पूरा कंफर्ट हो ना हो चलेगा, लेकिन अगर आपकी ऑक्सीजन रोक दी जाए तो आप 1 मिनट में अपनी जान खो देंगे। आपका पानी 1-2 दिन ना दिया जाए तो आप जान खो देंगे। आपको खाना ना दिया जाए तो फिर आप जान खो देंगे। तो जिनसे जान जुड़ी है वो है जीईपी और जीडीपी से जहान। सवाल यह है हमारे लिए जो गंभीर विषय है कि अब हम इसको कैसे इश्यू खड़ा करें। इश्यू एक ही है कि हमको यह देखना पड़ेगा कि इकोलॉजिकल डिस्पैरिटी क्यों आई। देखिए, दोज हु कंज्यूम लॉट ऑफ वाटर, एयर क्वालिटी या जिनके कारण खराब हुई अर्बन्स, नंबर ऑफ कार्स ऑन द रोड, दैट लाइफस्टाइल डैमेज अवर इकोसिस्टम। अगर और देखिए ना, कितनी अजीब बात है कि whenever there is any disaster because of nature disturbances, it is ultimately who suffer? Rural suffer more. I am from the Himalayas. We have a large and a very good forest cover, but whenever disaster hit us, ultimately we become the more victim as compared to the other. और इकोलॉजिकल डिस्पैरिटी इसलिए भी है कि जब डिजास्टर आता है तो रिलीफ वर्क में जितना रिमोट विलेज होगा उतना डिफिकल्ट रिलीफ होगा। इसलिए एक समय आ गया है कि हमें अपनी पूरी व्यवस्था को, पूरे सिस्टम को एक नए सिरे से सोचना और देखना पड़ेगा। हमें अब यह तय करना पड़ेगा जो कि हमारे एज ओल्ड अप्रोच थी, लोकल नीड मीट लोकली। मतलब हम अपने लिए, अपने गांव में, अपने बीच में सब कुछ पैदा करें और हम अपनी आवश्यकताओं का लोकल, अपनी जो नीड है, वी शुड ग्रो एवरीथिंग, वी शुड डू एवरीथिंग सो दैट वी कैन मीट लोकली। इट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट इन context of the economy, because if you look into go to the past 100 years back, see, every village used to be independent. They used to go everything of their needs. Today, our total dependence is on the close by market. And if a product that is sold in the rural shops come from the urban area, so why villager cannot do create a kind of system where what they have been producing, value it locally and also take control of the market in and around, and any surplus share it with the urbans. And that brings two major impact possibly. Number one, we have a serious issue of migration in this country. और अभी कोरोना में तो आपको पता है क्या हुआ है। See, so much of migration happened कि सरकार को had two problems to face. What will happen to the urban industries or industries around? And second, so many people going back to the villages जहां से वो migrate हुए थे, just for a simple reason that there was no job locally available, and therefore they caused the migration. अब आप देखिए, वो गांव में चले गए, गांव में रोजगार नहीं है, अर्बन के रोजगार सफर कर गए, क्योंकि अर्बन की डिपेंडेंस रूरल माइग्रेटरी पॉपुलेशन भी थी, दे यूज्ड टू वर्क एज ए लेबर एंड सो ऑन। नाउ इन सच सर्कमस्टांसेस some serious thought to be given, and the thoughts is around that every agroclimatic zone that we have in the country, we have different kind of resources, and based on that resources we train the local community, and that my organization has been doing. We train the local community based on their resources, we generate their economy, and that economy and any resources which is surplus otherwise, we share it with the close by urban market. But anything we can locally produce, we value add it, and that makes a local income, which is a microeconomy, revolves around the villages only. My village in case produce X fruit, and another village close by produce Y fruit. We share with each other. And that was the story all time in the past also. Abhi kya, everything broken because we are very centralized, because the knowledge was centrally located. Most of the industries, food processing industries around in a place where there is a transport available, where they can have immediate market strategy and so on. We in the past were not very successful in putting such rural cottage food industries. And I'm to tell you that future of this country and globe will revolve around farming systems. And the farmers are going to be very important in future, but the more important is they should also be trained, at least in children and youth in the villages should be trained to do the value addition and what they can locally and also with a bigger loop can sell their produce in the close by urban areas. So local need, local employment opportunities grow with meeting requirement of the urbans too, because by doing so, we do many things. Let me tell you, if any raw material which transported from rural to urban for value addition, the one who is doing the value addition, does he contribute back to the resource? No. It is a local community only. If his economy dependent on the local resources, he will ensure that resource growth continue to go. He will maintain the resource growth. But whenever there is a resources are somewhere else and process in totally different location far off, resource sustainability doesn't come. I give you an example. We have water mill, one of the technology 2nd century old. ये technology खत्म हो गई थी क्योंकि community power system था. They used to run a turbine with the water streams. A local grinding होती थी. Ever since electrical and diesel engine came, they ceased working. Because then the barter economy was replaced with the monetary. You have to pay 2 rupees kg for grinding anything. So that diesel and electrical engine killed the water mills. Now, what we did, we improved the water mills again with the knowledge and technology, and ultimately the water mill came back. And today, hundreds and thousands of water millers have come back, and they are managing the resource also, saving the water bodies also, so that continuously their resource remain alive as they are. So this is how a local need met locally also, and as well the resource regeneration is also maintained. What is happening globally? The issue is, on one hand, we are consuming natural resources, but we are not adding to it at all. And that is the reason there is a large economic and again ecological disparity. So with this, we have been serious about, and I think when our Prime Minister has been saying that local and vocal, what does it mean otherwise? Means more of the dependence on local resources, making villages independent, and once villagers' dependence on resources come, वो जो भी पैदा करते हैं अगर उनको अच्छा बाजार मिलेगा तो वो और रिसोर्स को ग्रो करेंगे. When I say resources, it is the forest, it is in farm, non-farm activities, and all these require आपका पानी चाहिए, नदी चाहिए, आपको जंगल चाहिए ताकि आपको ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर मिल सके. I mean, it's an integrated kind of approach we can seriously think of. Otherwise, as I said beginning, we were earlier in economic disparity, now ecological disparity are also coming. Those consuming does not contribute. You know, the principle of nature says, the consumer must be a contributor. Whomsoever consume more should contribute. Look at what is the scenario. Where do the urbans, who in any case consume everything, they have everyday kind of food variety and number of times they have been eating. Look at the water they have been consuming for their bathing, washing and everything. Look at, they are the people who have so many the vehicles on the roads, adding to the pollution, but they do not at all contribute. Those contribute rural They are raising forests. They are saving forests. They are making rivers. They are the people who we are enjoying their products and produce. But ecological and economic disparity come. They contribute ecosystem, but they are not get any advantage, any benefits of it. And at the same time, the urban consume lot of the resources, but they do not contribute. That the only way we can do is that we can ensure एक अच्छे तरीके से हम ये तय कर लें कि हम लोकल कम्युनिटी को उनके रिसोर्स बेस्ड इकोनॉमी को ऐसा कर लें तो इकोलॉजी भी चलेगी, इकोनॉमी भी चलेगी. इट इज इकोलॉजी इंक्लूसिव इकोनॉमी. जब आप अपने रिसोर्स बेस्ड काम करते हैं अपने गांव में, अपने स्टेट में, अपने रिसोर्सेज को प्रायोरिटी करते हुए, तो आप इकोलॉजी भी मेंटेन करते हैं और इकोनॉमी भी मेंटेन करते हैं. सो इट इज अ लोकल नीड मीट लोकली विद सिंपल प्रिंसिपल कि नेचर दैट करंटली डिमांड्स कि हम सबको कंट्रीब्यूट करना पड़ेगा. और हम सबको कैसे कंट्रीब्यूट करना पड़ेगा, चाहे वो अर्बन हो और चाहे वो रूरल हो. हमको रीडिफाइन करने पड़ेंगे क्योंकि अब तक इकोनॉमी इंपॉर्टेंट थी, लेकिन सडनली द कोरोना have realized globally also there is something wrong in the nature. And look at this is कितना अजीब सा बात है कि लास्ट 2 decades में दो चीजें बड़ी अजीब सी हो रही हैं. एक, रोजाना कोई ना कोई स्टॉर्म चल रहा है. क्या क्या नाम है, कोई एल नीनो चल रहा है, कभी अम्फर आता है, अभी आप नरगिस आ रखा है, और रोज एक नए नाम के साथ इतने साइक्लोन, इतने तरह के नाम हमारे बीच में पूरे इकोसिस्टम को डैमेज कर रहे हैं. वहीं दूसरी तरफ आप नई बीमारियां देख रहे हैं, स्वाइन फ्लू, बर्ड फ्लू, डेंगू, ये सब नए नाम कहां से आ गए? ये इसलिए आ गए कि हमने नेचर प्रो नहीं है, हमारे काम रेलेवेंट नहीं है, हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा ग्रीडी हो गए हैं. मुट्ठी भर के लोगों के कारण पूरी दुनिया में जो पॉलिसी क्रिएट की गई वो नेचर के अगेंस्ट थी. और अगर नेचर के साथ चलना है तो हर एक की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा. इफ यू विल नॉट डू सो, तो आप इस कोरोना में when everything was good, you see the reports had been coming. ये देखिए नदियां अच्छी हो गई, गंगा बहुत सुंदर हो गई, and you can see whole universe from here only, and the quality of air has become so good. That does mean कि it is a human only जिसके कारण ये हुआ. वो तो उससे बड़ा अब आपको कोई प्रमाण नहीं चाहिए. Do you need anything more than that? कि it was happened because of the human activities, and 21 days lockdown, everything came back. That means कि कहीं नेचर में गड़बड़ है. और इसके भी अलावा most important issue is now what is this corona COVID-19 is also a part of biodiversity of the nature in the world, on the earth. ये कोई अलग से थोड़ी दूसरे यूनिवर्स से नहीं आया. कोरोना कोविड यहीं से आया है, और ये कैसे आ गया हम तक ये समझने की आवश्यकता है, क्योंकि हमने पूरी पिछले कुछ जो नई बीमारियां आई हैं उनका मेजर सोर्स कहीं ना कहीं वाइल्ड लाइफ है. अब आप नाम दे रहे हो स्वाइन फ्लू, आप दे रहे हो बर्ड फ्लू, डेंगू, दैट इज द ओनली रूट बिकॉज वी हैव गॉन इनटू देयर हैबिटेट. We begin to eat them. We have spoiled their habitat. और अभी ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि most of the wild animals are now often seen coming in the road at the time of 21 lockdown. अरे भाई तुम्हारी रोड में नहीं आए थे, तुम उनके घरों में चले गए थे. वो तो अपने घरों में वापस देखने आए, यहाँ क्या हो गया? They have not come to your place. You had gone to their place because you build structure, made road and so. So what I'm trying to say is कि अभी एक जो दूसरा बड़ा चीज हमें सीखनी चाहिए कि सब तरह के प्राणी, जितने तरह के प्राणी दुनिया में हैं, जितनी लाइव्स है वी हैव ऑन द प्लैनेट अर्थ में, एवरीबडी कंट्रीब्यूट एक्सेप्ट द ह्यूमन. अब क्या है बुराई? कि कोरोना ने भी, कोविड-19 ने भी कंट्रीब्यूट कर दिया, उसने ह्यूमन पॉपुलेशन को कंट्रोल कर दिया। अब आप मुझे ये बताइए कि if you know, there is a food chain defined in the forest. You cannot have large number of the Ampala. If their number goes up, more number of lions and the tigers come. They control the population of the Ampala and the deers and the same herbivorous number depends on the grasses in the forest. It's a food chain they maintain and the nature maintains the same. But human was one number which there was no control because ultimately the human was the controller. It was one mistake that human could not understand. उसको ये नहीं समझना चाहिए कि वो नेचर को कंट्रोल कर सकता है, और इसीलिए कोविड-19 और तमाम तरह के डिजास्टर केम somewhere or other to control this population. Well, I would finish simply with one or two requests of mine. If every one of us consume nature directly or indirectly, let us be serious how best we can contribute. It cannot be by handful of people or a government or a department decide that what should be the course of ecosystem growth, ecological contribution. Everybody who consume it will have to contribute. First thing I would definitely love to say. And also, if 21 days first lockdown has given us idea that everything can become good, let us be serious about every week, 2 days we have Saturday and Sunday. Why not self exile we take in a form कि हम कोई गाड़ी नहीं चलाएंगे, कुछ नहीं करेंगे, घर में रहेंगे, अपने परिवार के साथ रहेंगे, खाना वाना खाएंगे, महीने में 8 दिन और साल में 96 days. We can keep everything close and then naturally that will be a relief to the nature. अब भाई ये भी तो सोचना चाहिए कि कभी पृथ्वी को और प्रकृति को भी आराम करने दोगे, नहीं करने दोगे? 21 दिन के रिलीफ और आराम ने नेचर को हमको दोबारा अच्छा दिखा दिया. तो अगर हम हर वीक में जब अपने आप सरकारी छुट्टी लेते हैं सैटरडे संडे की, तो नेचर की भी छुट्टी करो, उसको भी कहो तो रिवाइव कर भाई. जो तुम्हारा गला घोट दिया है नेचर का हमने, उसको भी 2 दिन सांस लेने के लिए करो. ऐसा नहीं करेंगे तो अभी तो ये आया है कोरोना, ये तमाम तरह के साइक्लोन वाइक्लोन आते रहेंगे और एक दिन मुझे नहीं लगता है कि अगर हम गंभीर नहीं हुए तो शायद हम इस दुनिया में आगे जा पाएंगे. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. If there are any queries, so I'll definitely love to answer.
Sure, sir. It was very illuminating and you have given a completely new dimension to the whole thought. I'd like to ask you a few questions. The way you told that we need to create sustainable villages, एक ऐसा ग्रामीण सभ्यता बनाना चाहिए जिसके अंदर ग्राम सब अपने ऊपर स्वनिर्भर हो, जैसा गांधी जी कहीं कहे थे, उसी के तरह थोड़ा बहुत. लेकिन मेरा ये कहना है कि do you also propose that since you are saying that the urban people are only the consumers and they are not contributing, then abolition of complete urban locality altogether, or some conversion or transformation of the urban region so that it can be more compatible with nature? What is the action point?
No, what I'm trying to say is that since 1900 we have doubled the cities in the world. Now, what is the cities? Look at, please, this is a very ecological question and economical also. If everybody will go to the villages, urban areas, and everything will be urbanized, who will be the producer? Who will produce wheat and paddy and fruits and everything? So you see that as much as larger, 3 times more people should remain in the villages. But the only condition is that they should be respected by all virtues when they are staying back in the villages for all of us. And that's where the comes up. See, what kind of a prices you fix MSP for their produce, and what happens when they do not have better market available, they lose everything. So that mechanism, the time, high time, and they see this time only one every one of us realize that at the time of lockdown, we did not enjoy any of the industrial product, but we enjoyed more air, water, and food that come from the villages. And it does not mean merely the food come of the villages, air that you are enjoying. It is a forest somewhere in the villages around, and the river that made there. So what I'm trying to say, there are strategies now coming up. If you can visit your team of, send a team of people here, where we are trying to empower villages, not merely first to generate resources, their growth, value add them, and trying to find out the innovative market within the tourist pilgrims coming. Kerala is a good example. And here in our case, what happened? You see, we have Badrinath, Kedarnath, and so much Vaishno Devi good shrines. But the offering in these shrines used to come from the flat land. What we tried that we made local millets and local crops used as an offering for the tourists and the pilgrims. It became millions of rupees turnover for the local community. By doing so, market is immediately available for millets, value add, enhance the chances of return, better return, and also local ecology also improve, and no migration.
So just because you mentioned the Uttarakhand and its particular problem, a quick question. In 2013, we have seen that there was a great environmental disaster in Uttarakhand. According to you, what were the causes and how it can be averted in future according to your principles and your ideas?
Yes, this is what I'm trying to say. Then it is called ecological disparity. Who caused that flood came?
Yeah.
It is a man-made. Who was this man? Those caused global warming, and they are more the urbans. Now look at, they did not suffer. Those who are in the Kedarnath or the villages already settled there, they were the sufferer. This is what I say. Economic disparity was already there. Now ecological disparity. Those who are saving become the sufferer also. So I'm trying that we should not do it. Well, the government of Uttarakhand had regulated certain things. That number of people should not go. Also, when we find that there were local problems, also the way we were constructing our roads were not very scientifically defined. Earlier, the roads were built with the manually using Paula and other things, Kudali. Today, it is a bulldozer they have been put to clear a road, and that shakes the whole rock system. Anything happens, it collapses. So what I'm trying to say is, we seriously are, that's how we had a number of lessons, and that is the reason this state will be the first state in the world to give a gross environment product parallel to gross domestic product, and GEP issue only caught after the Kedarnath disaster.
Okay. So, sir, do you mean to say that it is okay to exchange a bit of environment with the economy? It is quite fine to have a little dent in economy if actually ultimately it transpires to an improvement in economy. We think we have lost the link with Dr. Joshi. We are trying to get the link up again, and we will immediately come back as soon as we can do that.